Welcome back for another video. Bench boost active off the back of the wildcard. Let's talk about what we've learned to take into gameweek 7. I'll run through my team selection and transfer plans for gameweek 7. Let's get this one out of the way, shall we? Brentford 3, Man United 1. Thiago with a brace in the first 20 minutes. So he moves up as the 5th top scorer forward after that 13-pointer. I remember someone was on the deadline stream asking who's the best forward 6.5 mil and under, and I suggested Thiago, so I hope they went through with that one. Things were looking pretty good for us Bruno owners as Mbeumo won a penalty in the 72nd minute, a really long VAR check and a couple of substitutions. 4 or so minutes later, Karaj reads it well and saves it. Karaj has saved, I think it's 57% of penalties that he's faced now. For the added kick in the nuts, Bruno also got booked and he finished on 11 out of 12 required defensive contributions. That's 2 missed penalties by Bruno this season. Does he keep taking them, or does Mbeumo take the next one given his record? Man United just seem to hit new lows every week right now. They haven't won back-to-back league games under Amram yet. I mean, that guy waiting for 5 wins in a row is never getting his hair cut. It feels inevitable that a new manager will probably come in the near future with a more sane setup, less stubborn, more versatile, probably 4-2-3-1, Bruno as a 10, Man United click again. Sesko did get his first United goal, that was about the only positive. That was Amram's 200th game as a manager in his whole career. 17 losses in 33 league games with Man United. And he only lost 14 in 167 at Sporting. Leeds 2, Bournemouth 2. Great day for the 4 mil defenders. Rodon scoring for Leeds. And Alderete also getting one for Sunderland. Esteve not so much. Senesi with DEFCON points once again. And a stoppage time assist for a 7-pointer despite conceding twice. We just added a new filters feature on the statistics widget that allows you to do basically anything you want now with it. For example, if you want to know who's best for DEFCONs per 90, then you could select that from the drop down. And then if you want to exclude the players that have played, like 5 minutes, that have got 5 DEFCONs, then you could select start percentage, which is also new. So filter players that have started the majority of games. For example, I might want players that have started 90% of games for the club so far. Well, let's go 60% because there's some players like Mukiele that joined late. Caicedo's best across all positions, 14.17 DEFCONs per 90. And look at defenders, Senesi 13.5 per 90, Mukiele 12.75. I'm hoping that it doesn't end up a mistake to have picked Gabriel and Vardy on the wildcard, who obviously a bit more old school picks for clean sheets rather than DEFCONs. So far, it is all about the DEFCONs. Senesi's the top scoring defender, 44 points. Guehi's on 43, Alderete 39, Lacroix 34. I'm going to make a bunch of presets as well that you can use here soon. FPL Focal app, links below for that, or go to fpl.page. Haaland left it late with just an assist to his name as the clock rolled over to stoppage time. By the 93rd minute, he had a brace as well for a 16-pointer. 1.41 XGI, 7 shots taken, all in the box. There were 8 goals scored in the 90th minute or later in the Premier League on Saturday. Interestingly, that was the most ever in a single day in the competition's entire history. By the way, if you enjoy these transfer plans videos and easy to digest analysis of the games, hit subscribe, it's completely free. Well played to the Haaland triple captainers, potentially season defining decision if you had the option to use it and went for it. For lots of us, chips were active, so of course it was off the table. It's going to take some doing to match that whenever we use it. I'm going to be sitting on the chip for a while now. Like game week 13, Haaland's got Leeds home. Game week 15, he's got Sunderland home. In between those 2 game weeks, Salah's also got Sunderland home in game week 14. Though he would seriously need to turn his form around for me to consider Salah triple captain right now. And of course Sunderland are looking brilliant in fairness. So yeah, probably Leeds home in game week 13 is going to be when mine gets used. Reinders and Foden with disappointing blanks. Lots of people went triple attack, which looked really good on paper. And it looked like Foden had bagged actually, but it was an Esteve own goal. Esteve is only the 6th player ever to score 2 own goals in a Premier League game. And he's the first since Craig Dawson did it against Everton for Wolves back in December 2024. Who's got the best upcoming fixtures for us to target then with our transfers? Top 10 here sorted by easiest to most difficult, and it's Arsenal, Chelsea, Leeds, Brighton and West Ham. It's all about the Arsenal fixture swing right now, and it's going to be a massive talking point this week. That block of 6 upcoming games is crazy good. It's about as good as fixture run as you can ask for. I'm tripled up with 2 defenders and Gyökeres myself. But of course Saka's back, so he's an option as well, and you could just go one defender. I think at least one Arsenal defender would be highly recommended for this run. Chelsea up there as well. They've got Liverpool next, of course, which may or may not be a bad fixture right now. Like, Liverpool are looking pretty disjointed, and it is at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea really need a result, having lost 2 in a row now. But of course, wait until Game Week 8 before you buy a Chelsea player is a sound call as well. Cucurella, Enzo, Caicedo, João Pedro look good. From Leeds, really it's Rodon and Gumason that leap out for me. I'm not going anywhere near Calvert-Lewin. Oh, and Stack, of course, I've got him as well. I think he's nice for 5 mil. I like Dewsbury Hall, who's also 5 mil, but it is that one yellow away from a one-match suspension that puts me off a bit. At Brighton, I think it's Minte and Matoma, the two that I rate there. We'll have to see how West Ham respond to Potter's sacking. Like, surely we see a new manager bounce, and it's Nuno Espirito Santo coming in, which is an amazing replacement. They've got Arsenal next, of course, but a lovely run from Game Week 8. Fixture ticker here is from the Focal app as well. Links below for that. So I mentioned Sunderland's form earlier. They've had some really difficult years since dropping out of the Prem. Some dark times if you're a Sunderland fan, but they're back and they're looking really good. In European places currently, even in the Premier League table. Underrated with the only goals they took 3 points off Forest, assisted by Xhaka. Defcon points as well for a crazy 17 pointer for the 4 mil defender. On lots of wildcard benches. Mukiele finished on 9 Defcon, who's the other 4 mil option at Sunderland that I quite like. It's the first time he's failed to hit Defcon, falling 1 short. The big question was, how are they going to line up with Reinildo suspended? And Masuaki was the one that came in at left back, so the rest of the back four was unchanged. He was on a yellow card early on, he did come off second half, and that saw Gertruda come on and play right back, and then Who moved across to the opposite side to left back. So that's quite encouraging as far as Mukiele's prospects still, who is potentially better for Defcons if he stays in centre back. But it's very hard to ignore Alderete now after that 17 pointer, and he is the safer pick. A shocking start at Forest for Postecoglou. Forest had 64.9% possession. That was their highest in the Premier League since their return to the Prem, but they couldn't make it count. Sunderland's 11 points from their first 6 Premier League games this season, they've won 3, drawn 2 and lost 1, is their most in the top flight at this stage since 1967, and it's actually the most for a promoted side after 6 games in the competition's history since West Ham had the same in 2012. If you made the Salah to Haaland switch, great call. It really couldn't have gone any better. Palace beating Liverpool 2-1 as Salah blanked, and Palace deserving the win, honestly. Salah back in the team as well after his injury, and he bagged against Liverpool again. He took 3 shots, all in the box. Mateta took 4 himself, 3 in the box. Timed at 96 minutes, 59 seconds, and Nketiah's netted both the latest winning goal on record for Crystal Palace in the Premier League and also the latest winner considered by Liverpool in the competition. Saturday was the first time that Chelsea, Liverpool and United all lost in the same day in the Premier League since April 16th, 1994, just 31 years ago. Isak did start as expected with Ekitike injured. He took 3 shots in the box, 0.43 expected goals, but couldn't get any results there. Gakpo was benched for this one, and it was Wirtz that started down the left, but another Wirtz blank. Arsenal went behind away versus Newcastle after a Walter Marder header, clean sheet wide. Gabriel really should have done better, he went down too easy in the duel. However, he more than made up for it, scoring a crucial win at stoppage time. Plus he hit Defcon points, plus he snatched all 3 bonus points for getting the winning goal. 13-point haul. Well played if you had him. What's crazy is I was looking at defenders, and right now the number 1 defender for expected goals is Calafiori. Number 2 is Timber. Number 3 is Gabriel. Arsenal occupying the top 3. He's such a mad threat and set pieces, it won't be his last of the season. Another Gyökeres blank though, disappointing him. Saka also started, but he came off early, given he's just returning from injury recently. Potentially bad injury for Livramento that game. He landed really awkwardly on his knee after challenging him for a header. Had to be stretchered off. I really hope it's not serious. Saliba actually started on the bench. Mosquera got the nod in right centre back. Arteta said something along the lines that he was being cautious because he had a minor ankle injury. He came on at half time, so if you've got him, keep hold of him. In other news, Chelsea got another red card. That's 2 in 2 games. This time it was Chalobah as they went on to lose 3-1 to Brighton. Welbeck with a brace off the bench. João Pedro blanking again for Chelsea. Chelsea down to bare bones at the back for the Liverpool game next. That's Colwill, Fofana, Tosin and Chalobah all out. Watkins finally remembered how to score as well as Aston Villa beat Fulham 3-1. Moon is not in the squad. Jimenez started but had to come off early. And Rodgers also getting an assist. I mean, the script writers are getting lazy with how obvious this was going to be. After 5 blanks in a row, mass sales, myself included, Watkins and Rodgers I sold. They both finally returned. It was a broadly bad gaming for clean sheets, with Bueno also wiping Tottenham's, and they responded with a stoppage time equaliser from Palinha. No clean sheets there either. Pedro Porro benched. So an early look at my team selection and transfer plans for Game Week 7. It's Raya, Vardiol, Gabriel, Senesi, Ndai, Reinders, Bruno, Semenyo, João Pedro, Haaland and Gyökeres. The bench boost is active, and it's a bench that's Dubravka, Stack, Anderson, Mukiele. So let me just pull the fixtures up. So I've got Dubravka, Villa away, I've got Stack, Spurs home, I've got Anderson playing Bournemouth away, and then I've got Mukiele with Man United away. It's not a strong bench. I've got 0.3 mil on the bank, so there wasn't any room for upgrades without downgrading the starting 11. And personally, I'd just rather invest light on the bench and hope to get lucky and basically ensure that my starting 11 is as strong as possible. I've got 3 free transfers after the wildcard, so I could do something like João Pedro to Evan Olsen for a better team this week, but long term, it just doesn't make sense when Chelsea's fixtures are looking really good still. Looking further afield, I might want to buy Palmer back for Sunderland home in Game Week 9, or perhaps I want to buy Saka that week. From Game Week 9, Arsenal have got Palace home, then they've got Burnley and Sunderland away, and then it's the North London derby, which can be a goal fest. That would require selling of my 3 Arsenal players though, so the smartest thing to do this week is to roll the transfer, and then I'll be on 4 free transfers. If anything changes, I'll make sure to let you know in the team selection video coming this Wednesday. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the content lined up for this week. I'll see you soon for the next one.